Mariam Abdul Aziz was the wife of the richest man in the world, the Sultan of Brunei, Hassanal Bolkiah. She lived a luxurious life in the largest palace in the world, which the Sultan built just for her and their children. By the way, one of her children is the most popular prince in Asia, Abdul Mateen. But at one point she lost everything. Why did the Sultan of Brunei divorce Mariam, who gave him 4 children? Why did she spend years in court battles? And how is she living now, 20 years after the divorce? Watch the full video to learn her incredible story. For the last 50 years of his reign, the Sultan of Brunei consistently topped the list of the richest monarchs in the world, thanks to oil revenues. In addition, he was officially recognized as infallible in his own country. In early 1980, the Sultan was on a flight with Royal Brunei Airlines. When his relatives and servants went to meet him, they were shocked. The Sultan stepped off the plane completely soaked. It turned out that a flight attendant named Mariam had accidentally spilled a drink on him. She was so nervous pouring a drink for such an important passenger that she spilled half the bottle on his clothes and part of it on his head. A year later, this flight attendant became the Sultan's wife, and her portraits appeared in all official places in Brunei. As you might have guessed, this is how Mariam met her future husband. The romance, which began 10,000 meters in the air, was immediately dubbed by reporters as love at first flight. It developed quickly, but with many contradictions. Not only did Mariam come from a modest family, but her mother was from Brunei, and her father was half Japanese and half Scottish. Because of this, Mariam had unusual beauty and a semi-European upbringing which attracted the Sultan. Hassanal Bolkiah married a simple girl, going against centuries-old traditions. She became his second wife. His first wife, Inak Selha, was not thrilled to share her husband with a younger, more beautiful woman. But Brunei's Islamic laws allow polygamy, so she had to accept it. The Sultan's father, Omar Saifuddin III, refused to accept the unequal marriage for 5 years. Only shortly before his death in 1986 did he agree with his son's choice and began treating Mariam as a daughter-in-law. Because of the family's complicated feelings about the marriage, the Sultan and Mariam's wedding was a small, low-key event. But 3 years after the wedding, Hassanal Bolkiah gave his beloved wife a truly royal gift. He built the most luxurious and expensive palace in the world just for her and their children. It was named Nurul Iman, which means Palace of Faith. The palace covered an area of 200,000 square meters, and its value today is estimated at $1.2 billion. In return, Mariam gave her husband 4 children. A year after the wedding, she gave birth to their first son, Abdul Azim. Then 2 princesses were born, Azima and Fadila. And in August 1991, another son, Abdul Mateen, was born. Mariam also adopted a daughter, Afifa Abdullah. Mariam endured many difficult years in the palace, strained relations with the Sultan's first wife and his constant infidelities. Hassanal Bolkiah was known for his lavish lifestyle and enormous harem, which became widely known in an international scandal. In 1997, American Gillian Lauren filed a lawsuit against the Sultan and his brother, Prince Geoffrey, claiming their harem consisted of dozens of women, including minors. The scandal was quickly suppressed by palace efforts, but it became a symbol of double standards, and it likely hurt Mariam deeply, as she had to live with such circumstances for many years. Besides caring for her children, Mariam was also active in public and charitable work. She led several foundations that helped the disabled and poor. She traveled around the country, helping those in need. Because of this, as well as her simplicity, kindness, and beauty, Mariam became a beloved figure in Brunei. So it was even more surprising for the people of Brunei when they learned of the Sultan's divorce from his people's queen. The divorce happened after 22 years of marriage. The official reason was behavior unworthy of the royal family. The true reasons for the divorce remain unknown, as the royal family does not publicly discuss its private matters. There were rumors that Mariam had become too interested in the social life, travel, and parties, which may have displeased the Sultan. Other sources suggested that the Sultan suspected his wife of infidelity, but none of these rumors were officially confirmed. In 2003, Mariam was stripped of her titles and honors, but was allowed to live in the palace to raise their youngest son, Prince Abdul Mateen. As he grew up, Mariam, along with her adopted daughter Afifa, moved to Singapore and then to the UK, where she bought a house in a prestigious area of London. Probably due to emotional struggles, she developed a gambling addiction. While Sultan Bolkiah was known for his romantic escapades, he was not greedy. He generously provided Mariam with money for the rest of her life, and she kept millions of dollars worth of jewelry. This led to a scandal in 2008. Mariam accused her bodyguard, Fatima Lim, of stealing rare jewelry worth $19 million. In a London court, the bodyguard gave contradictory statements. At first, she claimed that Mariam herself had given her the rings to sell and pay off casino debts. Then Fatima changed her testimony and took the blame. It seems Mariam did have gambling debts, and Fatima accepted responsibility in exchange for a generous reward. Afterward, Mariam was not involved in any further gambling scandals. It's possible that this strong and experienced woman overcame her addiction to gambling, especially since her life had enough intense emotions, not always positive ones, and sometimes deadly. In October 2020, her son Abdul Aziz passed away from an incurable disease at just 38 years old. He had been a film producer in Hollywood but did not achieve much success. He was also criticized in conservative Brunei for allegedly having a non-traditional sexual orientation. His death was a huge blow to Mariam. However, her second son, Prince Abdul Mateen, is doing great. He is an excellent athlete and now a government official. For a long time, he was considered the most eligible bachelor in Asia. In January 2024, Abdul Mateen married for love. Our channel has already covered this magnificent wedding. Mariam's native daughters, Azima and Fadila, have become dazzling beauties, married and happy in family life. Now Mariam Abdul Aziz is 69 years old and she travels actively. Sometimes she visits the Nurul Iman Palace built in her honor. Mariam maintains good relations with her ex-husband, their children and their families. She is often seen with Prince Mateen at public events and polo games. Recently, she became a grandmother. Her daughter Fadila gave birth to a princess named Dania Romat. Now the former queen, like the rest of the world, eagerly awaits news about Anisha, the wife of Prince Mateen, who is expecting. It's likely that Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah truly loved Mariam because he allows her to see her children and has provided her with a comfortable life. Do you think this woman was happy in her marriage? Or does a luxurious life allow one to ignore endless infidelities? Share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. See you soon.